What's going on, YouTube fam? This is the Wealth Investing Network. We do this for the win. You're getting a sneak peek into my stock portfolio and a sneak peek into my research on stocks. Today, I'm talking about Academy Sports and Outdoors and Dick's Sporting Goods. I bought more shares of one of these companies. We'll get into which one later in the video. And spoiler alert, I want to buy more. Let's jump into Robinhood. Okay, we're going to start with Academy Sports and Outdoors. Ticker symbol ASO. I'll probably refer to it as ASO or just Academy. We'll see. They launched on the stock market, or had their IPO, in October of this year. So we'll get some more information to go off of as time goes on. But for now, let's get into their description. Academy Sports and Outdoors operates sporting goods retail stores. Okay, you can read the rest for yourself, but here, let's take a look. This is what they look like. Kind of reminds you of a lot of retailers you might see. Okay, let's take a look at the inside. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to show it for people who might not have seen the inside of one of these stores before. Honestly, I could flip through a bunch of pictures between ASO and Dick's Sporting Goods, and you might not be able to tell which store is which. That could be a fun game, but I'm not going to do that right now. What I do want to say is that I think they're becoming more of a leader in hunting and fishing retail. They're kind of a combination between Bass Pro Shop and the old Sports Authorities, if you remember those. If you're not familiar with any of those places, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I mentioned in my other video, including ASO, that I don't think they had to close down during the worldwide health crisis because they sell hunting and fishing equipment and things considered essential. I'm still unclear on this, but I saw some articles about how this was a big debate in some places. I'll say their business was impacted, but due to the timing of their IPO, it's hard to tell by how much exactly. Okay, so we have here their number of stores, the cities they're in, and there's a little map we got here. Mostly located in the South. Keep that in mind for later. I was completely unfamiliar with this company until I started doing my own research. As you can see, they don't even have stores in large swaths of the country. So I guess this is a good place to mention that there's also some talk about stores making the choice whether or not to sell semi-automatic weapons and weapons at all. Dick's Sporting Goods decided to move away from that after one of the mass shootings, and I don't think that they will sell weapons in their stores after this year. That's Dick's Sporting Goods, at least to my knowledge. Academy Sports is going to continue to sell weapons. Okay, before we move on to talk about Dick's Sporting Goods, quick plug to check out Robinhood and to check out Webull. They've helped me a lot on this journey. If you do your own research and you want to try them, I have links in the description that can help us both get free stocks together, and I'll open mine live in future videos. I did it before in a video, and I'll do it again. So, Dick's Sporting Goods, ticker symbol DKS. Here's their 5-year chart. They just reported earnings, so I need to get more details. I hope my data isn't too out of date. Just know they had a strong quarter, and they were strong in both in-store and online sales. Oh, and they picked a new CEO after Edward Slack stepped down after 30 years. So I think that's a good transition to talk about just some numbers I found on Indeed.com. As you can see, pretty comparable. However, there will be a new CEO coming up in the near future. Okay, so you can see here, very strong quarter. They had an earnings beat. This is their worst quarter, obviously. However, they've really recovered, and that's nice to see. And I showed the store count of ASO. They have over 250 stores. So I just wanted to show Dick's Sporting Goods store map. And you can see they cover a much wider swath of the country. And they have, I believe, over 850 stores. So which one is a buy? Gotta say, do your own research. But let's get into the quick and dirty analysis. Okay, moving into our quick and dirty analysis, you'll see a lot of pretty comparable numbers here, just as a heads up. We've got the stock tickers, company names, sector and industry, the stock price, the market cap. You can see that Dick's Sporting Goods is a much bigger company, and ASO is a pretty recent IPO, so this could fluctuate a lot. We don't know yet. IPOs tend to fluctuate a lot, especially in the first 6 months or so. Sometimes there's a lockup period of investors that buy in early before all of us retail investors can get in. And there's this lockup period where they can't sell their shares until a certain point. So sometimes you'll see the stock start to slide after those early investors get to sell their shares down the line. Financial indicators, we have their PE ratios. That's price to earnings. We have their price to sales and their revenue. So for every dollar of sales, this is the premium or discount that you're paying. Typically, we've seen higher price to sales ratios, so you're paying a premium, but in retail's case, you can get these at a discount. And that just shows what the market thinks about retail stores right now. We've got strong revenue growth from ASO. Their net income margins are about the same. Moving on to projections and growth, I kind of have less for you here just because things are a little bit up in the air with the worldwide health crisis. So I've been seeing different numbers and I didn't feel confident putting some of the figures I saw here. But I can talk about the analyst target mean prices, and mean just stands for average. So the average of what the analysts are saying is that both of these stocks have some room to run. Okay, so when I was doing my research, I found this article very useful. They're saying that ASO really was at the top of their game when they launched their IPO. So there are some questions on how long their hot streak could last. Academy had 4 consecutive quarters of same-store sales growth and 5 consecutive quarters of free cash flow growth, which is impressive. And they make their guess as to why. I also want to highlight the free cash flow here. So I'm going to read the first half of 2020. Sportsman's, another retailer, generated $17 million in free cash flow. Dick's Sporting Goods had $62 million in negative free cash flow over the same period. Academy generated $760 million in free cash flow. Wow, that's impressive. So I've talked about this section before, so I won't really get into it, but basically ASO has some debt more than their competitors. However, even though they have $1.4 billion in long-term debt, $200 million is already earmarked to help pay down this debt, and with the amount of free cash flow that they're generating, I'm not too concerned. However, debt can be a problem for these kinds of companies. I also wanted to share with you these charts I found on the sporting goods market share. I want to do a little bit more research, but I thought this is useful, that they have comparable market shares, Dick's and Academy, and the difference comes when you look at their market share by in-store versus online. And for Dick's Sporting Goods, this is pretty impressive, and Academy has room to grow. However, they're not close to the level that Dick's Sporting Goods has their online presence. And this is just what I found in my research, but I really encourage you to do your own research because I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. If you're here to watch my path and what I'm doing, great, because these videos are for entertainment. And I also want to point out with Dick's Sporting Goods is that they give a dividend. Their dividend yield is 2.12% right now. We've talked about the dividends. It's like a little thank you to investors, cash in their account. Academy does not offer one. So if you want to share what you know about any of these companies, drop a comment. I'll try to respond. While you're there, hit that like and subscribe because it helps us grow. It helps me provide better content. It's a win-win, and we like that here at the Wealth Investing Network. So, drum roll please, I bought more ASO, and I might buy more. This isn't an all-in buy type of situation. They are a recent IPO. I do understand that the stock price could come crashing down. That happens to a lot of IPOs. However, when I look at the price to sales, this is a steep discount, especially when compared to their competitors. And you look at the type of revenue that they're generating and the growth that they have, that's impressive to me. And they have a lower PE ratio, much lower than the industry average just in terms of retail. Even the average PE ratio for the S&P 500 is between 15 and 20. Dick's Sporting Goods is close to that. ASO is at a discount. I think they could also potentially expand their market. However, that's definitely an area to be careful with because that's kind of what happened to Sports Authority. They had a lot of debt and it was fine until it wasn't. Sports Authority wanted to expand their online presence and build some more stores, but they already had so much debt and that kind of made it impossible, and eventually they had to go out of business, and Dick's actually absorbed a lot of their stores. So that's all I'm covering today. I'm not on social media. This is really just about sharing knowledge on YouTube. So drop a comment here. If you still want to reach me but don't want to drop a comment, send me an email at the link in the description, TheWealthInvestingNetwork@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Drink more water. See you in the next video.